You got 6:30. Ask everyone to stand. The pledge.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Perfect. Oh, roll call.
Councilperson Bettis.
Here.
Councilperson Houghton.
Here.
Councilperson McAuliffe.
Here.
Councilperson Hanselman.
Here.
Supervisor Shepherd.
Here. All right, public comment. Is there anyone here that, I know we have had daily here, but is there anyone else here to address the board? Word is yours.
Well, thank you. First off, thank you for allowing me to speak tonight. I'm doing my rounds. I'm going to be going to the village board here at the beginning of May when they have their meeting, and any other place coming up in the next 2 months to speak to the public about the upcoming capital project that we have as a vote coming in May. Our budget's done for next year. Unlike other districts, if you look around, and I'm not going to point at their districts because it's kind of rough up there. I'm not going to say this. Ours is going out this year at 0.45%. Their budget going out the school year next year. And so what I gave to you is kind of for those that haven't, I gave you the long version, which is a very long version, and then there's the crib sheets, if you want to call it that, or quick notes. And this is an overview of the project. It's a complete area. We broke it down into 3 parts. We break it down into the roof structure, which I'll talk about in a second, the roof and units on top of the roof. There's some instructional spaces, and then safety. Safety is well over 50% of this. And I'll start and work in reverse. The roof is, sounds strange because time goes by fast, but our roof, there's 10% of the roof out of warranty already. So basically, anytime anything's out of warranty, paid out of pocket. The other 90% goes out of warranty September of next year. It's been 20 years since we put this roof on. September of next year. So anything starting October, give or take, October 2027, everything's paid out of pocket if anything happens to the roof. So that's included in this. All heating units in the building were replaced inside classrooms in the last project that we just finished up. This one finalizes the rooftop units. Those weren't done because we focused on the student areas first in the last project. This is remaining spaces. We had air conditioning to the elementary gym, which is going to be required for heating issues in the gym for the summer. Office spaces, and basically that's about it. And a little bit in the auto shop, the wood shop, their dust collection system and their HVAC setup too. So that cleans up those. The instructional spaces, the one that people ask me most about actually has been there's an outdoor recreational area for the middle school right now. Anyone who has kids in middle school, you're 5th or 6th grade, 7th grade. If you go outside, you go out to a field. The playgrounds are too small for them, and the high school is using all the high school at the other end, baseball field and softball field. This is one in the middle, which is going to be basketball. It's like a multi-use court, basketball courts, pickleball, tennis, all enclosed, bocce courts, everything there for an added area. Worked with Landon Nelson and Denise Campbell on this to put together the design. And that's what they came up with. It's like an alternative for middle school students in upper elementary or lower high school that can use those. And it's also to the community. The community must use that space. They've been using it a lot for walk around the building that we have that paved. They can use for that also. And the third part, there's 2 other parts to that, 3 other parts. One, the auditorium. We didn't do much in the auditorium last time. We just did the catwalk for those that have been in there. We've been changing lights for 60 years on a 24-foot ladder. This time we put a catwalk in so no one gets hurt. Now this one's supposed to be the sound and the lighting. That's what this finishes off. The sound, which hasn't been touched in 50, 60 years. When you look at the wiring there, you have 60 years of wiring cobbed together over year. It's very, very hard to figure out sometimes, as well as the lights now. The old lights that we have are becoming more and more expensive to replace as they go out. So prefer it to LED lighting. There's a kitchen in there. If you look at it, one of our classrooms, which for those that went to school here, you knew used to be like a home ec room, an old home ec room. That's the same kitchen that's been there for 40 to 50 years. That would be updating that classroom, putting an ADA compliant bathroom in that room, as well as a shower and laundry facilities. It actually goes up against the wall in front of the ceramics room on that side of the room because we'd be adjusting it. We'd have to adjust the kilns and the ventilation from the kilns. So we'd be fixing all that, and then a whole new kitchen. So basically a teaching space for life skill students, as well as if we have a culinary class. And that's included in that. And then development of the piece of land that we bought out front 2 years ago into additional parking spaces, 35 additional spots that back right into the football field. So right now, if anyone's been to games at the school lately, if there's after that something happens to someone on the field, the ambulance can't get out of the field. It's the way it was built. It's the way it's designed. This would back right into the football field, right next to the guest bleachers, the visitor bleachers. And also gives ADA access to the guest bleachers, as well as a small path that goes into the schools. You can go back and forth if you plow it. And again, additional 35 parking spots to hopefully alleviate some of the traffic issues that everyone knows we have there in the morning to get more people off the road quicker. And the last part, which is the biggest part, is the safety part of this. And safety comes into this in a lot of different ways. And all this is in here. And when I said, like I said, here's the quick overview, here's the long version. Safety, the two biggest parts of safety are the new entryways. We actually put a pedestrian lobby for the elementary. Does not exist whatsoever. Right now, the lobby is about, when you go into the elementary, there's literally no lobby going into that. The entry from master people in the back there. Control that. This is a much more controlled environment. The double set of doors that would be buzzed in. It'd probably be maybe even the size of this room would be the lobby for people to wait in for safety issues, but they're not going to be inside the building. And that's a big thing for the safety. Same thing in the high school, putting in buzz-in, putting a second set of doors in the high school. So there's another lobby that people would sit in before they go into the main building to be buzzed into the middle school or high school. We have to rearrange the offices to do that. On top of that, we'd be replacing the elevator. That's a 1980 elevator, I think. The gurneys that are used right now literally take up the whole elevator. It's reached the point it's not safe. Put a person, a kid, or an adult on a gurney, if you can't fit another body in there to be with them in the elevator as they go up and down, it's not good. This would replace that elevator longer, not much wider, but make it a good 3 or 4 feet longer. It could accommodate anything for safety purposes for that. And the last major part would be for the elementary school. For anyone that has grandkids or kids in elementary school who went through the elementary school, there's a lot of glass there, a lot of very easily accessible places. And as pretty as it is, it's also very easy to get into those rooms. We'd be replacing all the walls in the hallways, and replacing the doors with those to make it much more secure. And this project goes through. The other half of this, which isn't in here, because I can't put it in here because it's not part of the project, as far as what they call the Smart Schools Bond. We have another chunk of money that can only be used on technology. That would also tie in with this and have a system where if something happens in the school, we hit a button in any of the offices and every door in every instantaneously shuts and locks. So regardless of where anyone is, it just shuts down the entire building. And that's part of the locking system that can only be done if we replace these walls, because the current doors don't accommodate that because it's so much glass. It doesn't allow that to happen. And that's the basic overview of the project in a very simple way. We had started with the bus garage. That was the original intent when we started this entire conversation. We have in 2 years not been able to find a viable piece of land. We've got architects looking at and engineers looking at 5 to 6 different pieces of land. Every one of them would be a floodplain or too hilly, or it doesn't have the drainage that's or the sheer size. We need a minimum of 4 to 5 acres just to have the new bus garages that need that for the septic systems and the well and the parking and everything we have. Because we have 26 buses. That's what it would take to. We could do it on the site we have now, but I'll be bluntly honest. We talked about it. I talked about it. Yeah, we can make it work, but it's not also the answer for the future. We don't want to put all this money towards something and in 10 years find out that it's not going to work. It's just wasn't the right thing to do. So we pulled that for now to separate it out for another project. We also pulled the parking lot at that same time because all the work that's going to be happening, it will really hurt the parking lot. It's starting now. That parking lot again is also 20 years old. It was done at the same time as the roof. So it's a 20-year-old parking lot, and that's starting to wear also. So that would be a separate project a few years down the road at the bus garage and the parking lot. We now get 86% aid from the state. So for every dollar we spend, 86 cents of it is paid by the state. So Hoosick Falls is only responsible for 14 cents of it. So 14,000, 100,000, 4 million, and 10 million as it works its way through. So the last project was about $22.5 million, the one that just finished 2 years ago. It was supposed to be, when we initially put the project out, about a 1.99% increase in the taxes. After going through everything we were able to do in funding, doing this and juggling things, we came out at 0. It actually didn't go up at all. We had the whole last project completely covered. Can I promise that again? I can't do that. I won't do that publicly. But I will say this project is in that same vein. It's just over 2%, maybe 2.14% currently. We're not allowed to spend over that. A lot of people have said, what happens if the cost goes up? That's the law. If there's a cost, we can't go over that. We're not allowed to. So we would have to either wait. That question came up. What happens if prices in the world that's happening right now skyrocket to such a point we can't afford it? There's no timeline on this. If the public passes this, it's our timeline at that point. We will not put the community in a bad spot to say, oh, we're only going to spend this much because it costs too much. We're going to try to do it the right way. And so this is built for that. It's built to apply. You can see it in here, 3 million of savings to have the payment go down. And it's a 15-year bond. They call it that, but it's not even put in place until the project's done. So you don't even fund that for another 2 to 3 years. That's when it happens. It doesn't happen right away. So you know, oh, comes this May, it happens to go through. It doesn't kick in. It doesn't kick in until it's done. Project's over. And the goal would be, if this happens and passes in May, the goal would be to break ground next summer. It takes us a year. I mean, this is, when we do these, this is the generic kind of overview, because you don't work with architects and engineers and pay all this money until you make sure it's passed. And you spend the next 6 to 8 months designing every little nuance within it. And all those questions can be answered further at that point. And try to make it quick, because I know you guys have a full meeting tonight. That's the basic idea. And I don't know if anyone has any questions. There's a survey on here too, or if there's something, there's a QR code out here. It's on our website now, an entire portion of our website. If you go to the school website on the top, there's even a tab now for the capital project. Someone made it. And and there's a Q&A there. If you guys have questions for me, you can scan it, do a QR code. You can shoot it that way. You can also do it on the website. And we'll answer it there. And I'm also going to be doing a few more meetings. I'll do a virtual meeting for anyone who can't attend a public meeting such as this, for anyone who has questions. But I'm willing to answer questions now. You can, that's what this is for you guys to ask me any question you want about the project or not. Anyone have any questions?
Well, it's a great presentation, Pat. It's important to keep invested in the schools and our youth. The schools are in a good spot. Let's try to keep it there as a community, and you know, all the town organizations, the sports use the fields, and it's nice to see it's presented that way.
You know, one of the goals is keeping ahead of warranties versus letting the roof. And it was in field. I'm not joking. For those that were in school 25 years ago, there was a little field on the roof. That was the 2008 project. Was carried out that. We do not want to let it regress and go back that direction. So we're trying to keep up with all these things. I'm not going to tell you in the future there won't be more projects, but outside of the bus garage and the parking lot, when you think of Hoosick Falls, that covers a lot of ground between. If this one goes through, we just have that next one. That you've really covered a ton of ground in those in that time frame, and it puts the school in a really, really good spot. There's one more sheet up here that says ins and outs. I'm glad to tell you. I mean, a couple of things that have come up. Out, there is no turf in this project. That question has come up times. So, even if it was, it'd be 2 years away. And I can tell you, we did price it out though, because I had so many questions on turf. I didn't know how to answer instead of making it up. So we did ask them to price it out, just to turf a football field without a track, but just to turf that football field in that one area is $3 million. So that's where it's gone up to. So that's one of the reasons we just even, it's not even there. The bus garage obviously isn't there. Electric buses are not there. You know, that's not in this project. And you know, that's in the parking lot. Just want to make sure that people understood that. And if you don't have any questions, I understand. There's a lot going on. I just want to thank you. I just presented it here just to at least, if there's any questions, if you have any questions, you can be quiet for phone number. You can call me at school. If you have some, you have my cell phone, or ask the others. So, ask any questions.
No, certainly, anything we can do just to, obviously, you know, can't get overly involved. To push information is fine. And we've already given Sarah the okay to, like the one meeting that we shared, I think, but anything we can do to help information get pushed along, we'll certainly try our best.
Yeah, it's, if you notice, I don't say vote yes. That's not something I'm even allowed to do. You know, the whole point is just to get the vote. The more people that vote, the better. That's really it. Just vote. That's what we try to say. It's just, as long as people come up and vote, that's great. Do I expect people in this environment, in this economy, when we started designing this, the economy wasn't what it is now. We understand that. But again, I think we have a pretty good track record for going through the pandemic and the last project, which was really hard on the pandemic to do that, to come out at 0% tax increase due to the project. We pulled it off. Again, I can't promise that a second time, but if this project went through, that would be $45 million worth of work for about 2% total, which is a tremendous amount for that cost. So
So in order to vote, you have to be a resident?
you have to be a resident in 18. And I will say, don't know how it impacts you guys. Do you know what I was going to say about the voting? They changed it this year. New York State changed the voting across the state. And we're going to be the first recipients of it at schools. It's going to hit in May. And it's going to be basically how you go in and you sign the books. It's not that way. You have to go and type it into a computer, cross-references it, all these other things. And it's done through the counties. It's a whole new system. We thought it was being delayed until 2027. Nope, it's happening in 2 months. So people can still go in and do everything they do and still vote, but you just have to type your name in. Or if someone can't, if they're elderly, we do have people there that will type in all the information for them. And that's, you're right, resident 18, resident. Not yet. But that's it. Yeah, 18 and a resident. It's fairly straightforward. And just to get the word out. Really, let me know. Now you can take questions from the peanut gallery. I don't know if you guys do that.
By all means, if anyone has a question.
Thank you. I do appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Try to make it quick. So
Oh, good. So anyone else here to address the board before I move on? Correspondence and announcements. One thing I left off of this, and I realized it right before, is I don't have one here, but tomorrow at 10 a.m., the comprehensive plan Transportation Committee, termed the CPIC, has a public meeting just trying to get volunteers as drivers to help out with the new system that Hoosick is going to be a part of, hopefully. Community care givers. So that's at 10 a.m. It's on our website, Facebook. That's 10 a.m. So I should have put that on announcements, but I did not. The other thing, and board members, I'll get it passed down. That's the letter I got. We're going to talk about a new business. Long and short of it, it's the 5th annual Hoosick Falls North Hoosick Fire Department Community Day. This is their announcement letter with some basic information, and then they do look for donations. We have, as far as I know, 4 years in a row now. So we'll be talk, like I said, we're going to do that. We'll talk about that in the business. I put it on. But I wanted to bring that for you all to see. Any other correspondence or announcements that I missed? Holly, you're up.
Okay. So for the month of March, we started camp collection, and so this is going to be a hefty one. So for summer camp, I have $10,500, AM PM care $450, building inspections, it's other revenue, which is usually building searches, property searches, $70. Building permits, $3,310. Conservation DEC, $13.83. Dog licensing, $139.50. Marriage license fees, $35. Death certificates, $100. Subdivision applications, $100. And marriage certificates, $100. For a total of $15,422.50, and remitted to the supervisor is $14,818.33. I do not have any facility use requests yet. So I don't have anything on that. And then for the banking, I think I had a discussion with you, Eric. I may have had one with somebody else, but I'm seriously considering switching from KeyBank to Pioneer. We already have most of our accounts down there. My only problem with that is that if we do that and we accept cash, I will have to do that deposit when I get over $250 or within 72 hours. If it's over that amount, it will have to be done on a daily basis, which means that it's a half an hour ride down, half an hour ride back. I probably have to leave at 4 o'clock in order to get back here by 5. And that's if traffic's good. So the only other way I think that we can do that, and it's still going to fall into that 24-hour categories, because that's the time restrictions I have on collecting cash, is trying to coordinate with the school, which I think the school uses Pioneer, but they also use a courier. So, I mean, we could coordinate that, but it's still, if I have over that amount on a certain day, I have to make sure that it's in within 24 hours. I can have Ginny do that if she doesn't mind and she's not busy. I could have her do it. It doesn't necessarily have to be done on the day. It could be done maybe the next morning, if she's headed to the city, or I could do it the next morning, however we want to do it. But that's my only concern, is the cash portion of it. The checks, Ray has said that you can do right from your desk, which I think is pretty good, because they'll go in instantly, and I won't fall into the instance of, as far as the tax season, having a bounce check come back when I'm trying to process everything for the month and get it down to the county, because it goes in instantly. So that's my only concern, is the cash.
So when I had this conversation with Holly, a couple things come to mind. First of all, we've had issues with KeyBank in the past, with not just with the management, but the cost of managing the money. And we almost switched, I don't know how many years ago it was, we almost switched already. And we held back because I think they made some sort of a concession, maybe, right?
Yeah, right.
They took some charges away. I don't exactly remember what happened, but they essentially took charges away, and we said, you know what, let's just stick with it. So here we are again. We're having issues on that front again, but you know, on the cash side of things, the things that come to mind for me, Ryan, from a liability standpoint, I mean, is there a best practice that we need to be looking at in general with moving money, especially if now it's a longer distance? I mean,
well, I mean, I can only think of what's incumbent upon Holly as the town clerk, right? So she's got certain obligations. Obviously, she knows them, which is get the cash in the bank account within 24 hours. Practically speaking, I can do a little digging and see what other towns have done as far as facilitating that. But it's really kind of like what's workable for Holly's office under the constraints that are on her.
Knowing how busy it was this year, I hate to put, you know, I mean, you're talking instead of 10 or 15 minutes, an hour plus. You know, you can pay for that service that is potentially safer pretty quick when you figure in what your time is worth, you and Ginny. And so we have some time, but I think, you know, I think it would make sense. This is my take on it. I think it makes sense to talk with the school to see what they are doing, because if there was some sort of a shared service there, that would be a huge win.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it was just in every other day, you know, maybe we're bringing the money every other day, but we're having service, you know, so.
I would agree with that. I think having a conversation with the school is probably our first step.
Yep.
And seeing if we can align ourselves with them in some way.
And I think we can talk with Dave, right? Dave out at Pioneer. He would know too.
Yeah.
Do they have a courier? Do they have someone they recommend?
They recommend, I believe. Pioneer does.
Okay.
Add one to the route. It's not much.
Or they
out of the way.
have a courier right there. I can't remember exactly, but I'm pretty sure the school uses the Pioneer Bank's courier.
So we'll get some questions answered and we can get that on the agenda for next month. You know, I think this is the third time we talked about it. We haven't made the move, so this time we probably need to actually make the move.
So then the other thing that it just relies on is if we're not going to use Key Bank at all, you know, all of the money that Ashley gets is going to also need to be like for her admissions to the pool and stuff like that. We're going to have to figure out something different with that. So, and the rink when it opens, that type of thing.
So I would say that's another one of those deals where when we talk with Dave Pioneer, you know, I guess we get our list of questions, we give it to him, say, figure this out for us. And we'll see if we like his answers. I mean, if he wants the business, he'll tell us the easiest way to do it for us and whatever works for them. There's gotta be a way to do it without making everyone's life more challenging. So in terms of the cash handling in that regard, I mean, we don't have to necessarily follow those hour requirements and whatnot. So it really comes down to safekeeping of funds.
Right.
So we can figure that out.
On the other note, I have delivered my tax season stuff to the county and we are all finished.
That was a stack of paper. I got this.
In the hands of the county.
Congratulations. It's over
Made it through.
for this year.
All right, anything else?
I think that's it.
All right, Paul.
So still looking, on it. But, that's the county soil and water, we made some progress. So. Then we got through a list of everything I need to come up with. I believe they were accepting applications first. So I'll get it all together, get to by that. Also, Rich got all your head about having the,
Yeah.
So that's Saturday, June 6th, from 8 AM to noon at the highway department. And then, of course, the county got a hold about getting in the rink again for the tree sale. And that is the 17th and the 18th from 10 AM to 2. Okay. And the highway report, there are a lot of roads swept. I mean, a lot of trees and brush, especially up that Cottrell Road, too, quite a bit up there. Did get blacktop yet, so we're still cold patch and potholes. And the ditching on tape, and today we started over on Blue Road. Did start today up on Wilson Road, company for that road. For the solar project, and we talked to the guys. Seems to be going okay. They were coming down the wrong way with trucks that were coming in. I don't know if they're gonna come down. That's one way, but that's no problem here, that's very down.
Oh, okay.
It's pretty much, if they got some info down. Count down. Up that way.
Feeling Hawthorne or next year?
Wilson. So that's not next year.
Yeah.
Didn't we have a concern about that?
Yeah, but that's, I asked because I was thinking, when you said traffic, I was thinking Hawthorne, but okay.
Yeah. I think they were coming in that way, but I mean, I saw them coming out there, so. No big deal. And then the other thing I had was, the part-time help, hourly rate. I looked up minimum wage and I'm saving like $16. And, we've been paying $17 the last 2 years. And, I'd like to change it so I got the ability to, based on people's skills or what they can do, to have, go, from between $18 and $20 an hour, kind of skills. It's also the kid I've got now, he's, going to get out of college and move on. I think it's pretty hard to attract people, $17 an hour.
So I already talked to Paul about it, so you get, floor's open, guys.
Oh, I agree. Gotta really look at, if you've got something good and you're finding somebody that works well. You know,
I mean, they're probably paying that anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's kind of like, we're going to break.
So, Ryan, we discussed this a little bit ahead of time. I do not have a resolution. So the past couple of years, our practice has been motions. Are we doing a resolution on these rates of pay?
So you should, I mean, the wisdom is that, you know, motions move the meeting along and resolutions move the town along, and this is something that is a substantive town decision. Understanding that the money's already budgeted in the highway
Yeah.
budget for the part-time workers, but you can vote on it, and then I can do a quick resolution tomorrow morning and circulate it to Holly,
Just thinking,
or table it for next meeting and we put it on for a resolution ahead of time.
the two updated ones. didn't get-
I didn't.
They didn't come through today. So, all right, let's do. So we're gonna, I don't know what the resolution, what's this resolution number, Holly?
It's gonna be 51.
51.
51.
So this is actually gonna be 54, the one that we're about to do. It's 52 and 53. So let's do, so basically, I'm looking for a motion, resolution number 54, which is going to be to set the rate of pay for summer help for the highway garage for Paul from the range of 18 to 20, just 18 to 20, or 18 to $20. So I'm looking for that motion. All right, we have motions or second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? So, right, we'll get together, we'll get that written and we'll get it in minutes. Oh, anything else?
That's it. I need a motion.
Yeah. So I'll put this in now. So Cottrell Road Bridge, couple things. One, I emailed the board just to give them the heads up. Channel 6 called. One of the residents up there is impatient, I assume. So Channel 6 wanted to do a story and they asked if the town, wanted to answer any questions. And I said, if that, tells the story better, absolutely. So I did that today. I sat down. Basically, they only had a few questions about the specifics. So I bring that up more because we had talked about needing to communicate the process better. I'm assuming there's some unrest, at least with one household, because we had a media call. Makes me think that we probably need to get with Sarah and do some sort of a little release about updates. Problem being, we're waiting on the state. Engineering has done everything they can do. We're awaiting state, acceptance, response, we're gonna call it. When I talked to Wayne this morning, I got the indication that because of how long it's taking at the state level, we're already looking at 27, not 26. We told those people in December that it was potentially going to be done by year end this year. So that's probably not going to happen. So that's one reason we need to update these folks, which will not make anything easier. But I think we probably need to work on that. And I still think we need to try to utilize the contact system like the school does for anyone that's willing to get on that list with us, so that once things progress a little bit, we can give them updates. Then we've at least done everything we can do to keep people in the loop. But it's not easy. But
So the only thing I can really do is, that's dirt road. A section of it. Okay, it's just try to keep it graded up the best we can, put calcium on it, keep the gas down, and give it a little extra attention, but it's.
yeah, no, and I've been down it multiple times over the last few weeks, and it's the road's in good shape. It's just it's the inconvenience that wasn't there a year ago that's causing the issue for this person. People, I don't know who it is. I don't really care. But my whole take on it is, if there's someone concerned enough to call the media to get, some hype stirred for nothing, we need to at least communicate what's going on.
A lot of people are using that caretaker's road the wrong way.
Yeah.
And most everybody, because they don't want to drive,
Well,
which is dangerous. If you're trying to make a left turn out of there, it's very dangerous.
um,
More than right, well, it's definitely more left. Yeah, because it's a blind hill,
Oh,
you're making a left turn.
I think either way is pretty awful. So,
Yeah.
That's
so, biggest thing is, and no one wants to hear, the success stories. It's all about the negative too often, but, we start, and as I told the media, we started this process when the bridge was still open. There's a lot of bridges in this state and country that are shut down forever because people can't afford it. This bridge is a $2.1 million bridge. And there's 13 houses on the road, right?
I knew it once I counted.
So there's still 2 ways in and 1 way out. Like this bridge would not be getting done if we didn't have this funding. Period. So, we're trying to do the best we can, but the only other thing we can do at this point is get communication out there to people, and that's what we'll try to do. So, but just so everyone knows, I did answer those questions. Hopefully it doesn't even make the news, but we'll see. All right. And like I said, that was my other update with it, though, is I did talk to Wayne, and he said they're waiting. And he said, well, it's going to get done in 27. My thought was, man, we just told all those people that it might get done by year end 26. So
They said it was probably 27. That's what.
Once it was originally, we thought 27, and then when the red flag hit last fall, they expedited the timeline because of the full closure. Right? Is that how? Because you're right, it was definitely 27, but then last fall or winter, when we were up at the North Hoosick Fire Department, we definitely told those residents that it was end of 26 was the hopeful. But again, it's,
Everything like that.
Yeah.
Like you said, the whole issue is things are out of control with the state.
Completely.
Not move forward very fast. There's nothing to do about it.
so, Wayne and Azar, they've been amazing. They're doing their job. We're just waiting. So, at any rate, we'll work on it. Okay. Any questions from you all to Paul? Is we good?
Thanks, Paul.
We received Tiffany and Jared's report. I'm working with Tiffany on, we have a grievance board seat that we need to fill. We should be able to get that done. The person that we were thinking about putting on last year didn't need to go on. Hindsight, wishing we did this appointment in the fall, but we didn't. So I'll work on that. If we put a person on, let's see, from a timing standpoint, can a person get trained for the grievance board if they're not appointed yet, knowing that we're going to appoint them, or no?
Doubt it. No.
I'm pretty sure last year we had to send them with like a resolution that they got appointed.
Yeah, I would think you do. And you're
They are
filling,
going to be looking.
So we may have to come together for 5 minutes later this month to appoint this person. We did the same thing for Joe Nuccio last year.
Yeah.
We keep losing one person a year for that board, so we can, once we put this person on, we should be good for at least a few years.
they're filling a vacancy?
Yeah,
Because I can build that into the resolution.
they haven't said yes yet.
Okay.
I'm not. Dude, anyone out?
They can't train yet then.
Well, they're gonna say yes, but
Do they know that?
You just do a special.
I don't
meeting.
want to ask for forgiveness from this
You'll
person.
have to do a special meeting.
Yeah, I'm looking for permission. Normally I go the other way, but
Yeah, seriously.
this one I don't want to take a chance with. So, all right, that's okay. Well, it's not a big deal. We'll just do a quick stuff. We may have something for recreation I have to do later in the month anyway. Speaking of recreation, Ashley St. Ange.
Have all my ducks in a row. Hold on. I'll get it to you. Rink is all cleaned up from ice skating. The floors are clean, mats are up. The benches are just pushed to the corner for now, so people can come in and out and use the bathrooms if they need to. The only thing we haven't done yet is the outside on the concrete of the outside. We usually do that after the shrub sale because we have to go in and clean it up a little bit. Do we still want to get the turf pulled out and straightened? I mean, with the daily on that.
Should have put them on the spot. I just, as you were walking up, I thought of that, but it doesn't.
So for camp, we have the 8 weeks. People seem pretty happy so far with that. We had the conversation of returning counselors after 3 years of camp to up their hourly rate as well. Looking for suggestions. They've been minimum wage in the past. As a assistant manager, they're 20, and these 3 individuals have been, this will be their 4th year at camp, and they will be CPR first aid.
And what's their current rate?
Minimum wage, so 16.
16.
Okay. For that conversation, we can talk about it now, or we can talk about it at the next meeting when we appoint them.
So at the May meeting, we're going to do, we'll have the whole scale.
Mhm.
But my thought is, and this is literally me thinking about this just now, maybe we talked about it, but do we just split the difference? Like, did we split the middle for those people?
Mhm.
That would, it needs to align with the pool.
Mhm.
So, but my thought would be if we just go to like 18.
That was my suggestion, because lifeguards are 19, and then with WSI, they're 19.
So for May, then we'll have the whole
Mhm. The
list,
breakdown, I can have that too, I can.
and that way we can build it.
You have all the appointments and their rates.
Things are gonna be so official now, Ryan. It's like prejudicial. I don't know why we're doing this on me now that I'm here, but for so long. Anyway,
Okay, so I'll add that. You want me to just get together? I have the breakdown we did last year of everything. We went through everything.
it's all gonna be affected each year. It's gonna affect it because of the minimum wage
Right.
increase. So,
Yeah.
yeah, when you get a minute, just send me that breakdown
Okay.
of what it was last year. I mean, I can find it, but you probably have easier than me. And then we'll just build that out, present it to the board and ahead of time, and hopefully have a resolution for May. You don't need any of that before then, right?
No.
Okay.
For the camp permit, everything is filled out. The only things that are not completed are like lifeguard certifications. That isn't due until we need our permit. Usually in the past, because of the way we've done trainings, it's not till June. Our goal this year, and it's looking pretty good, it's May, the end of May. So the permit, I talked to Lucy last week, and she's home May 1st. So the sooner we can get this ball rolling, the better. And that's majority of our lifeguard staff. They're all coming back from college, so it should be a good year for them. Working with a new person, Shelley has ghosted me. She won't return my call.
Shelley from the county?
No, she's from a Swim Safe 80
Oh.
company,
Yeah.
lifeguarding.
That's
But
us, isn't it?
yes,
Yeah.
yeah, it's a little concerning. But maybe she's booked up. I don't know. But I have a new one. Her name is Lila Mullen. She's from around here, but she is working on getting me a itemized list of pricing and what we need. But hers is a little bit cheaper. It's 200 per participant instead of the 480 that I brought up last week. So I'm emailing her back and forth today. Once I have that information, maybe I can jump on your special meeting and we can add that to that. To
Yeah,
get that.
something like that. We can, I mean, whatever we gotta do. We just
Yeah.
need 3 of us and a little bit of a heads up and we can do it.
Okay, yeah, I'm in touch with her pretty frequently right now. And she can also do the 4 of you and our 3 camp
Oh, good.
at the same time.
Oh, for CPR.
Yeah,
Oh,
CPR first
perfect.
aid.
Yes.
So it's you, Tiffany, Cassandra, and Jerry? Is there
Yes.
any more? Okay. To make sure. And then for our camp orientation, Cassandra was going to attend to help with the forms. We're wondering if we can do it in here. We need to rent this room. Just so that has the copier, so we can easily scan the kids'
No,
stuff.
we just need to make sure we know the date, so it doesn't interfere with any other.
And she said she would make sure it
Yeah,
wouldn't. She's
So-
gonna let me know when she's available. Okay. All right, so that's for the camp.
just let Holly know when you guys know the date, so that she
Okay.
can double check it for you.
That won't be till like end of June. For the pool, my first thing was this envelope, but we did get that, so that's all set. The workers' comp and disability, I'm sure is the same
Yeah,
for the pool as it would be for the rink.
Yeah.
Right, because it's all
Yeah.
just a place. Okay,
so I'm sure you still have it, but if you don't.
I do. Yep. So that'll be all set. I can send that and then we just need to check. Mark usually does all that, but I can get all that to you and drop it back off.
So it's
Yeah.
just the one paper, when we say all that,
Yeah.
It's
like
two things. It's
yeah.
the safety plan, the workman's comp, and then the check. The three things. But I send it all together, so I can just bring it here. Check. So that's all taken care of. I
check
have,
tomorrow.
I think that one. I have last year's pricing. I don't know if you guys wanna take one, pass it around and look at it if we wanna change. We bumped it up last year, the pool pricing. Honestly, we went up a pretty decent amount for everything, for the passes, and for memberships, and then for swimming lessons itself. So for the day membership for an individual, it was 75 for a resident, 100 for non-resident. Morning swim was 45 resident, non-resident was 50. Family was 120 and non-resident was 135. I believe we went up at least 5 to
We
10.
raised it last
We
year.
did.
We
yeah.
did.
I know.
For that.
Doing like a, raise it, let it wait a couple of years.
It's a tab, yeah.
I'd rather not increase.
I think we
it
should
for
raise
this
it every time we have to raise
minimum
people's
wage.
wages,
Yeah,
keep up.
Because the one time we've gone so long, we had to raise it quite a bit.
You gotta stay with the
A
time.
little bit each time.
this past year, so.
For the memberships we did, I don't believe we raised, like, if someone was just to show up and say, hi, I wanna swim, they pay $3.
Yeah,
If
that's,
they're
Yeah,
not,
we didn't raise
we
that.
didn't raise any of that stuff. But swimming lessons we raised. As well, that was 45 for a resident.
And what do other pools do for when people want to just show up like that? Or like a la carte or whatever?
$10.
Oh, really?
Mhm.
Wow.
Cause they have like a change, like, I mean, we have a changing room,
Yeah,
and we have a shower,
yeah, usually like all the amenities.
We do, so-
we just lack shade.
shade, right?
I mean, it's a pool,
Yeah,
but
yeah, something,
It's getting cooler.
find some shade. A lot of people are looking for the shade more now.
Yeah, it's $8 to $10. 8 for kids, 10 for adults.
Pay pass at a pool, so you got $5, but also you
No,
know, get that. Cheaper than having a pool. Take care of it.
that's true.
Yeah, you're right.
Do we see many of those people coming in?
Just paying by,
We do.
What is it, $3?
yeah, 3 for residents.
That's pretty.
6 for mom.
mhm.
I'd say at least bring them up to 5.
I was gonna say.
I was gonna say that too.
So what do you do?
And then
for
what about for
non-residents?
non-resident? 10?
8.
8. Yeah, 5 and 8.
Don't think we have anything. Like, I don't see anything on here for like the age. So would that be anybody, even little toddlers that wanna come swim?
Didn't we have a, like
I
a,
thought 3 and
I don't
under.
want to call it a
was
rule, but.
3 and under. Okay.
I thought
I don't
3
see
and
it
under
on
were
here.
free.
Yeah, that's what I thought. It's like, look, there was something like that.
The rest, I think. I'll just change the date, get it there, and we can get it posted. Okay. So I also talked to Lucy about swimming lesson signups. We're looking at May 15th and 16th for that in person. Just keep me posted on the bank Because that's a pretty decent, that's everybody's paying for swimming lessons, they pay.
We will
upfront.
not have a change by then.
Okay, that makes me feel better.
It's almost impossible.
Okay. So we're looking at those potential dates. We'll work with Sarah on getting something posted. And then lifeguard certification, we're looking at the last weekend in May for that to be done, finalized, and then we'll send it, all the rest of the paperwork to the Department of Health to hopefully get, Lucy's trying to open, middle of June. As long as we can get things up and running, which will be the earliest. We've been able to in a while.
Yeah.
Nice. With that being said, I don't think we've appointed Lucy or Jess yet. So Jess and Lucy, are both coming back to the pool this summer and they're interested.
We did, yeah, I think we did Lucy last
We
month.
did, okay.
I thought we did both, didn't we?
No.
We didn't do
just the
both.
one,
So
the one.
Lucy's got some great ideas to change some things at the pool. So there's a lot that goes into managing the pool and like the camp. There's swimming lessons, there's open swim, there's an aquatics director for the camp. So Lucy's idea was to have them be co-managers and work together. I've seen them work together. They can be professional and they get the job done efficiently. They're also two hardworking girls who will show up and I don't have to worry about any of that. So Lucy would handle our aquatics director. She would be there when the camp is there. We have to have one of those in order to attend the pool. She'd be the swimming lesson coordinator and she would be in charge of the WSI staff, which is water safety instructors. So that's the swimming lesson side of things. And then Jess would work on scheduling, so making sure lifeguards are available for the whole day. And then the deposits, which in the future, if we do kind of do that route, that would be Jess's role. She could even help out with deposits. We're looking to see if the board is okay with having some co-managers at the pool, rather than me co-manage this year. And I oversee the employees.
Sounds good to me. I think
People
so.
that you trust and have reliable help.
Yes.
And Lucy has 1 year under her belt, so she can kind of get the WSI stuff figured out. The last thing I have is the pool operator. Owen said no.
Okay, what's plan B?
Yeah.
Talk with him.
We were going to talk about the sure you could bump up.
Yeah, okay, sorry. It's been a few weeks.
No, it's okay.
All right, first of all, let's back up.
So
I
we have Tom
apologize
for
on these
the-
resolutions. Yeah, correct.
Mhm.
And Mark.
And Mark.
We all cannot forget about the fact that he still has his certifications.
Call them in.
Lucy and Jess, are they gonna be doing anything between now and next month's meeting? Like, okay, so we are we'll appoint them next month with the
Okay.
resolution when we do. Is everyone okay with that?
Yeah.
So we will do that. That potentially will be resolution 55. Resolution thing, Ryan, is killing me. I'm glad we're doing it right. I will say that, but wowzer. So, all right. So Ashley and I did talk about this. We definitely need to have a newly trained pool operator. Tom and Mark have done it in the past. Mark was obviously a volunteer basis. I will not be a pool operator. I can't do it. So Matthew has been working at the pool. How many years? Was it his first year last year?
His first,
How many years has he been?
this will be his fourth.
Fourth. So he's amazing. He did a lot of the, they did a lot last year outside of just doing the lifeguard and the teaching. And so basically we need to figure out, what he would be getting as a bump in pay.
Who is this again?
Matthew Angel.
Oh, gotcha.
One of our
No.
strong lifeguards, yeah.
So, doing the pool operator job, I mean, obviously it's not the whole time. This actually is something we need to at least have an idea to tell him because he's going to have to get trained
Right.
fairly soon.
Mhm. It's an online course.
It is.
Mhm.
Well, how many hours is it,
I don't know the hours, but I know it's 380.
About $400 for training.
I have some.
Anything that comes to my mind is we want to choose somebody that, once they're trained, can continue to have, is this guy a college student
Mhm.
and ready to graduate?
Yeah,
You know, how many years might we have him as pool operator is my thought.
He's a freshman in college right now.
the 3
But I
more
can
years.
see him, yeah.
Okay.
I can talk to him. That could be something to talk to him about. I just don't have any other.
Yeah, no, I think it would be, you know, knowing Matthew a little bit, I think he'd be great at it. Super responsible and reliable young guy. So I'm all about it. The big thing is we know, you know, we know that he potentially be committed, and I'm glad that, you know, the other guys said no. They know they're gonna be busy and they don't want to do it. I'm glad we found out because we don't want to win the hard way. So in terms of rate of pay, how, I mean, I'm trying to think.
Let's pay him what we paid more.
Yeah, or Tom, right?
Yeah.
I think I did a lot of it for Northwest here.
I almost feel like we need to talk to Mark and Tom to figure out how many, we kind of need to know how many hours approximately he's going to be spending at that
Mhm.
role to be able to come up with a fair solution.
Yeah.
I mean, if it's okay with the board, I'll work on that with Ashley in the next week or two. I'll keep you all up to date and that'll be part of the resolution.
Mhm.
We're gonna have to give him kind of a figure. If
Yeah.
he's gonna do the training, obviously. We're gonna pay for the trip, of course, but, you know, I understand that he doesn't want to say yes to an extra responsibility if he doesn't understand his rate of pay.
Right.
So
Mhm.
we'll get a figure on how many hours that might be and just put the figure based on that. I don't feel awesome doing it now without, I don't know. I mean, some days it's just a matter of,
Doing the water test, and Lucy and I can handle those too. But it would be the vacuuming if we need it. I don't know how to even connect that thing. Started to learn the pumps in the back last year, but if there's something that happens, we need
100%.
a certified pool operator. Which I have, we can get the permit this year and they'll come, and Tom said he would help us through this year. My hope was Matt could kind of follow him this year.
Yeah, definitely.
Work together. And
All right. So is the board comfortable with that idea?
Yeah.
I won't tell Matthew anything until I've, you know, spoken with you guys.
we will contact him.
Let's give me a 1 week time.
You're fine. My head is in the directions right now.
All right, so what you got?
Only thing is I will bring a list of lifeguards and counselors to next month's meeting and I will get this stuff to you before the meeting. That's all I have.
Okay, I know the chlorine tank is on there, but that's. You know,
I know you guys,
we
yeah.
can do it, so we can, did you talk to Tom?
I haven't.
Okay. So we'll have that checked tomorrow.
Yeah.
If there's anything on that pool, form that you need from me, just let me know. We're on the next couple days, so.
Yeah, I
we'll
don't-
get it out.
I don't think so.
And then, so Jack Curvin, the
Oh, yeah.
chief from the rescue squad, I asked him to be the new, what's the term?
It's a health director.
Health
We need
director.
someone certified in like nursing or EMT doctor to be our off-site health director. So if something major happens, we call them, they come. Good news is we become 911 anyway, so they get.
So Jack, he's full-time, he's, you know, around all the time, he's a great guy, I work with him on the rescue squad board, and when she said we needed a new person, he was the first one that came to mind, and he was beyond excited to do it, so. My guess is that he'll be present, and, you know, if, like I said, I'm gonna bring you over
Yeah.
and give you the intro, so. if that-
We'll get together this week, yeah.
But I'm really excited, he'll be really good, so, all right.
Yes. That's it.
Thank
Well,
you.
I'll be back Wednesday to you
Okay.
tomorrow. Fine, thank you.
Right.
Okay. All right, I just gotta call out a couple things on here. Let's see, CEO, I don't think I've told you guys about this, so they contacted me a few months back and asked if I would be on the board of directors down there. And long and short, I said, yes, they have so per their bylaws, they have to have a 33% makeup of their board as elected officials. And that's why my name surfaced. We obviously have the CEO right across the river, so I felt like it was a good fit. So I'm on that board. So just kind of one more voice we'll have, I guess. Ray, the AFR, she got that done. That used to be the AUD. They keep changing the acronym. She got that in, and Ray, I didn't tell you yet, but tonight I did get a response from them, so I'll forward that to you. Just a couple minor things, so it looks like we're in pretty good shape. So big thanks to Ray, 'cause that's always a big thing to get done. Talk about this. The taco meeting last week, we had a really good day. I was definitely happy to help out with that. We went up to Brown's, had lunch, did a tour, went to the museum, and then went to the Woods Block, and then came here for the town hall meeting. So I was happy to help them out. His team of people he works with are really good, and they were, very easy to work with. So it was good to get the congressman out here. And yeah, other than that, everything else is pretty self-explanatory. It's been a really busy month. Bill, you're up.
Had a call today from a neighbor across from the courts. And we seem to have a big problem with the kids with the skateboards and the bikes again.
I did get your text.
So-
It's constant.
Hmm?
It's constant.
So last time I was approached by this person last year, I talked to Dan Chuddick, asked him to have the police do more of a, check on it. I think this time I'll go right to the new chief and ask him, so I'm sure that the message gets delivered.
Mhm.
But the signs are there. If we don't enforce it, they're just gonna continue. I'll check with the new chief.
Yeah, so he does work. He's here all the time. Well, it's not quite that, but so I have talked to him about it, and I am meeting with him. It was already prior to you texting me about that. I actually have a meeting with him this week. By all means, call him still. I can send his info. He's around, and he's definitely not opposed to making any positive change like that. So I think we're in good hands. The problem is there's just so many hours in the day for people to do the wrong thing on the courts.
Yeah.
It's, but
We don't expect them to sit up there and watch it, but
yeah.
they're making the loop quite often, so.
Yeah, my hope, and we'll get to this, as we make other changes up there, I'm really hoping we can get the right things flowing up there with, increased visibility and hopefully more use of the place. And but anyway, okay, so I'll still send you this. Have you met Brian?
Once.
Jerry,
I'm upset.
Jackie,
Eric, myself, and Paul met with Falls Fence, or Nick and Mike from Falls Fence. Last week, I had told you guys the quote that they have given us for when we take down the rest of that castle wall, what the fencing would be to put back up there. So if you guys could just take a look at that and let us know what your thoughts are, and then we can look to move forward on it.
yeah, just a little background, walls coming down, we decided that. I know Paul talked to Jerry, was waiting on things to dry up a little bit. My concern, I guess, when I met with Jill and Leah from the playground committee, when that wall is gone, there's a safety issue there because of that path, as you're saying about bikes and e-bikes. There's going to be a fairly open spot on that court side of the playground. So the concern is, that younger child, 2, 3, 4 years old, they run where that wall was into the path, and we have a bike or even a kid running, hitting a smaller child. So we need to keep the whole area fenced in still for safety in a few different ways. And putting a fence up is kind of step one in my mind. Step two would be, once that's in place, then it's, maybe fundraising to fill in that empty spot of playground or something different. But safety obviously has to come first, so we get the wall down, which I will say, looking at it again, I mean, where those where the lumber goes into the ground, that is getting
It's
tired.
moving,
So
yeah.
it's not just an eyesore and a problem from a kids getting in trouble. The thing is, it's just heading the wrong way. So it's had its life and it's about to be done. So,
Time to move.
but I know you talked to Jerry, so but he said, sounds good with it. So, I mean, I guess, yeah, everyone take a look at that. And it was what, 1,900?
Yeah,
Just under 10.
Yep.
So,
and it's gonna be ADA compliant. And we're also gonna have I think it's like a sports entrance, right? So that it kind of
Yeah.
limits like an entry for, younger kids and families.
yeah, so essentially 10 feet high for the section where the wall was, so that the basketballs,
Don't go over.
right, don't go over. And then it's basically a gap with like a secondary backing for the entrance. And then we're going to leave a
8 foot.
8-foot span, 4-foot gates. That'll be changed so that we can get equipment in when needed to, update material, which that's still on my list. I need to, under the structures, whatever their structures, I think that's the term. They're low, and it's getting to be that time where kids are gonna be using the equipment. So we've got to get a little bit of height at a minimum, just under those structures. So I'm on that.
Just a question. So will be next month's meeting when that gets approved out for the fence?
I would say
So I
so.
was going to get that wall down.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Other part where we're going to get the tires and stuff.
Yep.
Okay, so they're not going to start like May 1st or anything?
No,
No.
no.
So
Okay.
if we need to, Paul, we can. So if the fence is gonna be a bit of a wait, say the wall's coming down to get the right days and Jerry wants to do it, we just need to put up even a snow fence for a couple
It might
weeks.
not look very, but we have some of that orange fence.
Yeah, whatever it is,
We can put something.
as long as, and we'll work with Sarah. If that's happening, we'll get it out there so that people aren't concerned about what's going on. That's another one of those things where we probably need to get it out there and just let people know what's going on. But if that wall comes down and we're not ready to move on the fence yet, we need to just put up a quick, pound in some metal posts, get the snow fence up. I just don't want some kid.
Now you're going to get on with my bicycle.
Yeah, so.
And if in the year we get active, we should be able to coordinate it fairly. It shouldn't be like that long. Let's get on the schedule before it gets busier.
And they're really flexible, actually. So, like whenever you and Jerry are ready, just let us know and I can reach out to Nick and he knows that we're looking. So
Okay.
once we're approved, he'll get right on it.
I think we'll probably do something. So,
Chris,
Joy Silver, the Historical Society, had that bicentennial meeting this past week. I watched on YouTube and
Seems like a big event coming in the next couple of years and trying to really get some action and interest in it. So we'll probably have it on our Facebook page, but wherever we can start promoting that, I help
I think that's a
some more
great idea.
people in there.
It's more.
it was good. She had a good one to watch,
A lot of good ideas.
Yeah, I think I saw the minutes.
Yeah, they've been emailing
Yeah,
me.
which is
Is
great.
there anything we can do to get more involved there?
all right, on to new business, interbudget transfers, we had, one. To pass through, everyone had a chance to see that, do we have a motion?
Motions.
Do we have a second? Second. All right, all those in favor of the interbudget transfers, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Here. Any other questions for Ray regarding financials that were sent to us prior? I have not heard back from the village, so we are still waiting on the court agreement. Everything is still good with court though. Holly, if anything were to change, it sounds like they're pretty well staffed, so we should be good. So at this point, just so everyone knows, court wise, we're good. We have police presence. We're paying the rate that was pre-established by way of the 2014 resolution. So at some point, we will update that.
They have a new court officer, so he should be here.
Um. So, NetBridge, quick update. I've spoken with Nathan. I know that workshop got boggled. So, I've met with Nathan. Right now, we're trying to get a true comparison because there's some, and I need to meet with you at some point, Ray, about this too, because I still think there might be some other payments that are outside of that Edmonds amount. That his company is very hungry for this account. And is it possible, have you spoken with Garrett, Holly? Is it possible Garrett is now gone too for Edmonds?
He wasn't.
Because I called looking for him and I ended up talking with Ron in the midst of trying to get certain things done.
Mhm.
And it just seemed where I haven't heard back from Garrett.
Ron is usually he's been there the longest. Ron's really good.
Oh, anyway, so I want to keep that open because I think we're going to have more information to look at. I just don't have it yet. But I've met with Nathan and essentially the meeting he had the following Monday. So in his calendar. So we had a meet anyway that night. So that's why I said, hey, it wasn't a huge deal. And I did tell him the concerns of the difference in the way the pricing is. And I explained with the backups and how it's really important to us that we keep using the data box and the endpoint backups and have cloud access because of all the cyber issues. So I explained all of that. So yeah, definitely want to stay open-minded about that. I still think that, if we can make that work, we really should for the town. So let's do the hazard mitigation plan because we have that one. So resolution number 51. Oh, I'm sorry, hazard mitigation. That is, hazard mitigation plan. That needs to be tabled. This is a rubber stamp from the county. Remember Mark was on the hazard mitigation board for years? And we've been waiting, and the comprehensive plan, when we were doing it, that was one of the documents they said we needed to put into it. Well, it wasn't done. So apparently it's passed through. It's a little bit different than what we're used to. That plan had to actually go through the higher steps to get looked at, and then it comes back so that the municipalities can pass it. So they sent me this, but I have a call with the guy from the county that has been working at all this, and I haven't had that yet. So I didn't feel comfortable going through all the steps of taking their template resolution. So it literally just came to me in the last couple of weeks, so it didn't make the top of the list. So National Grid easement, let's do that one first. That's in front of me. You all saw this from Ryan. This is all regarding the Nexamp solar project on Wilson Hill. Ryan, is there anything more you want to add before we take the vote on?
Yeah. So this came to us from the solar company themselves, and they said National Grid needs an easement for the overhead line utilities that go over the highway, that portion of that highway property. And so we said, well, what does National Grid have in place? And many times this is not uncommon. Grid has their utility infrastructure over property with no recorded easement in the county. It does happen all over. I mean, these telephone poles have been up for years and years, and it's just assumed that it's grids and they go in, they maintain it and everything. But there never was actually an easement for it. That wasn't explained to us by the solar company, but it was explained to us by National Grid. So we did get in contact with somebody who does their rights of way. She said, yeah, we need it. It was never in place. So what this does is it memorializes Grid's responsibility to access and maintain their own infrastructure. They were doing it anyway. I guess they need to relocate one of the poles that's existing. They showed us on the map, it's just moving down. We had Paul take a look at it to see if it would interfere with the highway operations, and it's not in any way. So it's a type 2 seeker action, so there's no further review needed on it, but it is a conveyance of a real property interest. So it is subject to a permissive referendum. So that means if you vote on it and authorizing Eric to sign the easement, then Holly has to publish it. We wait 30 days to see if anybody files a referendum on it. That usually never happens. We wait 30 days. Eric signs the easement, we get it to Grid, and they can do their thing. And it really just enshrines in writing their responsibility to maintain their own infrastructure. So in that way, it does protect the town. So that's how that came about.
Yeah, look into that way. They look into fixing their streetlights.
Yeah, it might take us a few years.
Right. Tell them why they're looking so cold.
But Ryan, will that happen for every solar project?
No, this is just the Wilson Hill one because of its proximity, because Wilson Hill Road comes in. And so I guess they are tying into this line
That goes this
that
direction?
goes and it's going that way. So it's not changing anything that's already there other than like moving a pole away from the trees or
Okay.
something like that. But it's all still within their right of way.
Mhm.
So they're allowed to move whatever pole they need to within their right of way. So they showed us the map and everything and it all looked perfectly reasonable. So I would not expect this to be for every solar project.
Okay.
But again, there may be unrecorded easements out there, depending on where their infrastructure is.
Okay.
It's just, it
Can
happens.
you map of that? Do you know? You might not know, and that's okay.
Well, there would be, so the GIS map may show
There
you
is
to, it may.
that they have,
um,
okay.
I know GIS has been doing updates and they're using like GPS tracking for like sewers and stormwater and stuff like that. So the goal is to have municipalities have overlays
Mhm.
of, what easements and what utility infrastructure is where on what property. So it's heading in that direction. AI is helping that along, but it's you're always playing catch up with these things. It's like old train tracks, right? Like they've been around for 100 years and nobody really knows who owns what.
Yeah.
Or cemeteries, same kind of idea.
Okay, thank you.
It's just gonna create a problem for them if we don't vote on it. I'm serious, they don't fix our streetlights. I mean,
No.
don't do anything.
I would say that you don't have it, if you don't vote for it, they're still going to claim that like an adverse possession type argument. It's been there for way more than 10 years. They've accessed it. Nobody's disputed it. And what this really does, Jerry, is it records in the county clerk their obligation to fix it. So if you don't pass it, then they could in theory, not that they would, I don't know that they would, but they could in theory say, then we don't have any rights to access and that's your problem now, your power lines. You won't let us get to the power lines.
Yeah, that'd be a mess.
So, yeah.
Streetlights we pay for and
Well, so yeah, remember, this is more for the solar. I totally get your feeling. Downplaying that.
It would have to be a different scenario for us to be able to kind of hold them to the streetlights.
Well, we do need to revisit that because I still believe that they're billing us illegally, so that's really. We're paying for electricity, we don't understand how it's, so.
There is a meter on every streetlight pole.
Right.
Is what went, just dropped.
Been on the punch list, but it's not. All right, so
We're getting to it.
does anyone have any more, well, let's see. Do we have a motion to allow me to sign this? Then we'll be back doing it.
This was what, 50?
Yeah, this is resolution number 51. Do we have a motion?
Motion.
Motion of the bill. Do we have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? Holly, roll call.
Supervisor Shepherd,
Yes.
Deputy Supervisor Henselman,
Yes.
Councilperson Houghton,
Yes,
Councilperson McAuliffe,
yes.
Councilperson Bettis.
Yes.
reluctance.
I was really going for the no.
Go for it.
You need.
I was like, yeah, we haven't
uh,
voted in a while.
minutes. You'll
Yeah,
get
I'm
it
gonna
public.
need I'm gonna-
Yeah,
Okay.
it's like a notice of adoption.
Okay,
When it's after 30 days, I'll send you a certificate of no referendum, and then you just sign it and file it.
Okay.
we're gonna do resolutions 52
All
and
of it.
53. I apologize, they are not in front of you. It is on me. They live, yeah, that's in there. That's number, so it's in here. So Ryan cleaned them up. I sent the resolutions over. They got cleaned up and they just didn't hit your inbox. It's on me. I should have noticed it when I got here, but I was setting this stuff up. Yeah, that's so 52 is going to be, so we're looking for a motion to appoint Eliza Buplon to the Town of Hoosick Housing Authority Board.
And what number is that? 52?
52. And you're going to have these.
Yeah.
And then 53 is going to be the policies.
Okay, I'll make a motion to appoint.
Second. All right, I'll give us a roll call. That's how I would have read it.
Let's see that. Supervisor Sheffer,
Yes.
Deputy Supervisor Hanselman,
Yes.
Councilperson Houghton,
Yes.
Councilperson McAuliffe,
Yes.
and Councilperson Bettis.
Yes.
Okay, so Eliza Buplon is the new speaker, person on the Housing Authority Board. Resolution number 53 is to adopt, we will be, from here on out, we will be doing this in January at the organizational meeting. So annually, we will be adopting the Town of Hoosick policy and procedures. This puts us in line with New York State open meetings law, as well as kind of keeps things going with transparency and just helps things overall. So that is going to be resolution number 53. Is there a motion for that? Motion. Motion from Bill. Is there a second?
Second.
Second, Chris. Any discussion? Holly, let's do a roll call vote on that as well.
Supervisor Sheffer,
Yes.
Deputy Supervisor Hanselman.
Yes.
Councilperson Houghton,
Yes.
Councilperson McAuliffe,
Yes.
Councilperson Bettis.
Yes.
All right, I showed you guys the letter. Last few years, we've been giving $1,000 for that event. That helps with the cost of the band and the fireworks. Thousands of people go to that. I just wanted to bring that up to see if we're good with that. And if we are, I would entertain a motion to give the donation of $1,000 as we have previously. Chris, is there a second? Second. Second from Jerry. Any discussion? All those in favor of giving the $1,000 donation, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay. So. Dates. Brad, you're here so I can really on this. So that original date that I had thrown out there for the workshop won't work with planning. So what I'm trying to do, and you guys all know this, but I'll remind you. So trying to get all three boards together for a workshop to basically talk about communication, what the other boards need from us, but also get everyone reeled in on training. Because it seems like each year, Ryan, correct me if I'm wrong, but so even all of our appointed boards now have to take that cyber training thing as well, right?
Yeah.
The New York, so, oh, yeah, NYMER, so they're, so NYMER basically put out a thing that said all municipal employees have to now not only take the regular, like.
So they have
harassment-
like the sexual harassment training
Yeah,
that
so-
everybody, all
right.
employers,
So
everybody.
now
yes,
on
you have
top
to
of
do
that, we have to do a cyber, what is it?
So is that a NYMER requirement for your insurance then?
Yeah,
Because I'm not familiar with that as like a legal,
it's not state yet.
not that I've heard, but I will look into it, obviously.
Well, either way, so that my goal is to basically get, all the boards kind of on board with what the minimums are and how we're going to accomplish that. Because it's getting to be that time of year where we, offer some of those here, and then we also, obviously, we have the links to be able to send that out, you know, so people can take it remotely as well. So anyway, the date originally, it was going to work, but it's not because planning has a conflict. So we're going to be doing, like I said, that workshop, thinking later in like mid to late May. So I'll reach out to you, Brad. We got to get that.
And that's for members as well, like.
Yeah, it's not mandatory. I need you and Wendy there because the goal is to get Sarah there, and we're gonna all kind of come together on how we're going to streamline agendas, minutes, because some of the things that have been done forever can't be done anymore. One thing being adoption of minutes. Like that has to get recorded faster, and part of that is we need to get that to Sarah quicker so that she can get it posted. And we need to start hitting some of these things. Ideally, we're not going to be dealing with solar projects that cause issues with all that. But now's the time to fix it when we're not under the pressure. So like you don't have, I need you there, but I mean, ideally, if some of the other board members wanted to come, it would be good.
Okay, early May would be better, but we can talk, figure out.
Yes.
The other thing I had a question was like the cadence of our meetings. We haven't been having meetings because we haven't had applications to review.
Yeah.
But I am scared that people are gonna forget that they're on the board, so like we're having a meeting tomorrow. Like, is there any recommendation from the board? Like, should we still have the meetings? We don't have applications, like.
You don't have to.
Okay.
Yeah, your boards are, the planning and zoning boards are sort of fueled by the applications that come in front of them. Some towns they'll do like maybe like one in January and then wait for applications. Some towns just wait for an application before they have a meeting, and it's just part of it. So it's really, there's no requirement for you to meet if there's nothing in front of you. You're certainly allowed to, as long as you post it and notice it correctly.
Yeah.
And keep it open to the public, but beyond that, you don't have to.
Okay.
So the one thing I will say is the trainings that we have to legally do according to NYMER, there's no reason they couldn't.
They have to do their 4 hours a year.
Right.
The planning and zoning board members.
Right, but they also have to do would they be able to use that time to do the workforce stuff or no?
I would say probably not, because
No?
it would have to be a public meeting, and so if you're posting a public meeting and then you're just having the board members sit there and click through training.
So potentially, if they weren't going to meet that night, the town could hold it wouldn't be a workshop, it would be a training like what we do.
So in that instance, it would be a workshop, because if all the members are there, you would have to notice it if there's a quorum of any board present, regardless of what's
Well,
being
that's never been
discussed.
done legally in this town, so we can fix that too, I guess. I mean, all the trainings we've ever done, not posted or noticed or anything.
Yeah, so
even if they weren't talking about zoning business, but they were doing training, so like when they go to their trainings off-site, we don't post that.
yeah, so because it's not being like hosted by you, they're going elsewhere. But like you guys, like 3 of you can't go to lunch together without
Posting it.
posting it on the town website, like, hey, we're having a quorum of the board meeting, period. So you just gotta be careful about gathering.
Well,
a
I
quorum of
understand that.
everyone. Yeah,
Yeah, so.
but as long as you post it and you say there's a workshop and it says planning and zoning training festival of some sort, and people can come watch them click through their sexual harassment trainings and
Like,
stuff.
it feels like we should do at one of our meetings, the training with the whole board, and me, you, the Wendy and Sarah should meet, like, so, because we can just meet.
Yeah.
Yeah, so then you can also do like, committee if you don't have a quorum of a given board, you can have meetings, of course.
Yeah, because like I said, in the past, when we've done trainings, as long as we weren't conducting town business per that board, we've never posted. I mean, like if we get together and do sexual harassment, we're not talking about the solar field out in West Hoosick. I'm not trying to be sarcastic. It kind of drives me crazy, but anyway. Well, anyway, we'll talk, Brad.
What about when we're all on the break?
We're gonna post that this year.
Yeah, well, it's open to the public. Good to see you there. It's posted.
Yeah.
It's duly noticed.
Yes.
We're gonna move on before I get more angry. Anyway,
Not the rules.
oh, great. Look what's next on the agenda, the rink. Sweet. So, does anyone have any more new business before we move on to this? All right. So we've all had time to look at what we received from CHA. Quick update. I don't know what was going on with the guy that we were working with from CHA, but I got a hold of one of the other members of that team that, I've met via, Teams or whatever, but he wasn't the project lead. Figuring out who this person was great because he's been very attentive, gets right back to me. And what took me 2.5 months took about 2.5 minutes to get we'll go with Chris. So what I had expressed to you all is that, we have these drawings and all this stuff. That's great, but we don't have the money. And that's at the end of the day for us to move on anyway. We need to know what the money is. I spoke with Chris on Thursday of last week. And after I had, a few days to look over this and, if we want specifics, I can work on getting that, but it's as simple as this. The basic project, which would be tear the floor out, put refrigeration in, or the piping in, put the refrigeration in, use the existing facility as it is, existing boards as they are. You're still pushing the $3 million mark. New York Ford was about $1 million. There's potentially money out there from other sources, potentially one being the county. None of that is a guarantee. At the end of the day, the New York Ford system was still with a true partner, and that was Hoosick. I've spoken with Dean. He received the same report. He's looked at all the same figures I have. The scary figure is that the bigger drawings, so to make this rink what would be considered NCAA usable, acceptable, because of the footprint of the building and what we have, it would be pushing the 5 million plus range, which is completely out of any realm of any money we've ever looked at with anything like that. Mind you, none of this takes into account the cost to run it, which is even more absurd. Again, you need a true partner that is able to fill the ice all the time, and it's essentially running as more than a full-time business. There's a reason why a lot of rinks run right until midnight. It's just, you have to have a lot of ice time to pay for the operating costs, not to mention the fixed cost of what it would be. I've spoken with Dean. He agrees with me. My opinion is that this amount of money is it's way too high. It's totally out of scope with what we were hoping. I wish we figured this out long ago. Things obviously changed at a couple different times, but we don't have a partnership at this point. So we'd be totally solo, and that just puts us way out of our own scope. So that's my opinion. Matt Smith from the New York Ford team group, whatever, he works under the governor. He has been in contact with me, and I basically told him we were going to discuss it tonight. My hope and goal was that we were going to make a decision tonight and move in either direction and be done with this phase. So that's where this is all at. I can try to answer any questions, but that's where I'm at.
Years ago, when they looked at it, they did a study, they paid, doesn't matter how much they paid. But one of the things they came back, they said you need a population of a minimum of 25,000 people to even think about making it work. Me and Billy went up to Manchester Raleigh rink up there. And on the very cold days in the winter, the people don't go out skiing, they come down skating. And they have roughly 1,000 skaters a day. And if it wasn't for Shriners Bingo, they wouldn't be able to make it.
Hmm.
And they also checked with all the other places around that have hockey rinks. If they were down, they would not come to Hoosick Falls regardless. They would go to Clifton Park. And even Troy, when I was down, if we had one, they wouldn't come here. It just wasn't feasible back then, and I think it's gotten worse. So, is there anything else we found out when we went to Manchester?
If they didn't do their summer projects inside that rink, they wouldn't have survived as
They had that Shriners bingo.
couldn't have done it on just hockey or skating.
I'm not interested in burdening the town with that ticket. It's just not worth it to me. I'd rather keep what we have going on. You know, in case in future, I mean, we never know what's gonna happen in the future, so there could always be some other grant that might give us the opportunity to revisit.
But even if it was free, we couldn't afford to keep it up.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So.
Well, there's a lot to be said about keeping it simple.
Mhm.
When
I remember right when they did that dome down Pittstown. It wasn't the perfect size and they couldn't have certain things they weren't allowed to have.
Yeah,
So
so
it just made it the wrong size.
that's the one thing that I know for sure. I checked that with Dean and with others in that industry that, William CHA said it, without having the official size, you can't play, most of those leagues, you can't play games. And, you know, I mean, being a youth center coach, it's, you know, having the kids practice on the mini code puts you at a disadvantage, but it's not even an option to play games there. So obviously rec leagues and whatnot would be totally different, but, you know, rec leagues don't pay for the, you know, just the refrigeration and electricity costs and upkeep, or they're just astounding. So, all right. So
what does Matt from the governor's office have to say about
I don't,
moving forward without us taking the money for that?
the honest answer is I don't know yet, but you'll all know once I have that conversation. I honestly haven't wanted to, you know, I didn't want to have the conversation yet because I just did not know the facts. I've been, since January 13th, I've been waiting on this document, and the fact that it just, again, I'm frustrated by many things tonight apparently, but this has really bugged me. I mean, it took 3 months. So I haven't, you know, wanted to have that conversation because our goal as a board last fall was to have these numbers by the end of November. So they had, you know, turnover and whatever. So
We're all done with them now, right?
oh yeah. Yeah, for sure. And there's no balance, so we're good. Okay, so there's really no, I mean, there's no movement. So as long as the board is okay with it, I'm gonna have that conversation. And in the best interest of the town and board, I will enter it open-minded and see if any, what options there are. I will say, this makes me get frustrated again with the grant with the state senate from 2021. Because at the end of the day, that was $948,000 of way less restrictive money that we not only was awarded, but should have. You know, fact of the matter is we have a $200,000 roof on the rink we have to replace no matter what. We did all that work on the courts out of our own, you know, accounts. We have updates in the pool we're going to have to do, you know, so we got the playground and all these things that we were going to do with that grant. And we got the grant, we don't have the money. So, and the rescue squad still does not have their money from their match grant. That was through the same process.
So like a rescue squad, they got their new squad.
Yeah.
Uh,
You know, it's not in service yet. So anyway, that'll be part of that conversation. I know this is on the governor's side of things, but I'd like to think we can try to get some traction with Albany. Okay. Workshop, we covered that. CPIC, federal grants. Still working on that fly card grant. We're just kind of waiting. I am hopeful. Kind of did the playground. we gotta kind of play that one by ear. Everyone just take a look at that fence proposal so that we're ready if need be. And then there shouldn't be any more updates on solar because we did the next SAM.
The only thing that came in was that grid easement, yeah. Everything else is just status quo.
Okay. So we are going to be doing a brief executive session regarding personnel issues. We will not be conducting business afterward. So we'll sign students' sheets in a minute. So I'll entertain a motion to go into executive session.
Motion.
Motion from Jackie, second from Jerry. Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Get this thing.